Have you ever seen this bug? Floating on the water. Well, good morning everyone. Kaye here on my homestead. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I live on a little over 9 acres on a hill in Tennessee. It's not farmland, but it's the homestead that I am trying to build. And I hope you'll join me. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Click all so you won't miss an episode. Now, I wanted to just take a moment because I haven't been on this week. There was so much cleanup and remediation in the garden after the Tennessee tornado last week. They did a survey the day after. The National Weather Service actually came down our road and determined that it was straight line winds and not a tornado that hit our road, and that the wind was 75 miles per hour, which is hurricane force. So that's why that's another reason I'm feeling so incredibly blessed, just to lose some topsoil and some trees. The next storm, which was not supposed to be a tornado, but I had already lost so much topsoil and everything. I just filmed from the porch. My helper came over for like 3 or 4 hours, and we planted the 20 more tomatoes, and I put down weed paper, this pin that I found to hold down paper. It actually held. I was so shocked because the paper that I put down last year, I was trying to use rocks and pieces of cedar, and it would get up underneath it and it'd all blow around and it would knock against the plants and everything. And this stayed put. So I was just thrilled about that. So there is some good news. You could see on the radar circulating winds above my house, I was told. I was under the stairs, okay? Somebody said, oh, you got a picture. No, I did not get a picture of that. I am not a storm chaser. I did do that last year. I set up a camera in my second story window just to show the trees being blown and whatever, and I went down under the stairs. The reason probably I didn't do that is it was so sudden. We were on a watch for like 6 hours, and I was trying to do things, and then all of a sudden I get a text from my young meteorologist friend, and he says, are you in a safe place? And if not, get there. And I went, okay. So anyway, I just wanted to bring you up to date on what's been going on for the week. Maybe 2 days ago, I walked around and I took a lot of still shots just to show how things were progressing. This is the time when you're really getting the garden in. Well, we'd already had several days of rain, and then I had a little break in the rain. We had a forecast of 8 straight days coming up, and I said, I have got to get my corn planted, my sweet corn. I already had my flower corn, and the flower corn was that tall the day I put the sweet corn in. And I did a beautiful job of that, that sunset. I was so happy planting corn that day. I was happy as a hound dog. That's the lowest part of the large garden at the bottom of the hill, and so that's where all the water, the bottom of it, all the water runs through there. And so I have about a 60-foot dark brown line going down the yard towards the culvert that is manure and topsoil, and it's fabulous. But it's all in the yard now. It's not on the garden. I'm back down to clay at the bottom of the corn, where the corn's planted. But anyway, timing is everything in life, right? I just got back from the graduation of my late sister's first grandchild. She graduated high school, and my nephew told me a story that I didn't remember. He took my sister, his mother, down to see where he was living near Chattanooga after he got out of college, and he's working for Farm Bureau. And he had lived in a few places, and she hadn't seen the place where he lived and the area. He came and got her and took her down there and showed her all around. And then as they were going away from where he lived, she saw a sign. It was an accountant sign. And the name on the sign was a name she recognized. Her husband, my brother-in-law, was the best man for this guy, for the guy's name, right? So she said, we have to go back and see if it's the same guy. And he goes, well, let's just keep traveling. Let's just, And so he's getting closer to the interstate, and she said, I am going to give you a hard time all the way home if you don't turn around right now and go back and let's see if that's him. And so, because it had been 20 years or whatever, and they'd lost touch. And they go back, and it's the same man, and he meets my nephew, and he tells my nephew, I've got a daughter you need to meet. And he met her, and they got married. They've been together all this time, and then their only child, their daughter, graduated from high school night before last. So I decided, timing is everything. If she hadn't seen that sign, but that was kind of meant to be. So timing is, I get emotional talking about family, but anyway, timing is everything with the garden. I mean, I have absolutely no control over the weather, over the rain and storms. And so we just have a drippy morning, and I hit a blinding rain shower driving home. But fortunately it didn't last long, and there was nobody behind me because I couldn't pull off. Woo! Couldn't see anything. Tennessee is absolutely a beautiful state if you're considering moving here. But it does rain a lot. So anyway, we are looking at rain and storms all afternoon. So I managed during a break after the tornado, I spent 4 straight days. The first day was a garden remediation. My young helper came and we reset the okra. I only have 1 row of okra this year. Each year it's less because I'm picking so much okra and I can't eat it all. And I really can't sell okra because it's so perishable. If you don't just eat it like right after you pick it. And so, in fact, I eat it right off the plant. That's my favorite. Go down, breakfast, eat the little ones, So I only had 1 row of okra, and I've got to reset there. Half of them were washed out. So reset the whole okra, put some mulch on. Meanwhile, my helper he was putting mulch on, and then together we reset the flower corn. So those things kind of got okay. I did notice the day after the tornado that the sweet corn was this high. I've done nothing to that because it hasn't stopped raining. The next day was Sunday, it was Mother's Day, and my mower could come and we cleaned up 4 trees that are down. Cleaned up the one that was on the road. He mowed everything because the weeds were like this. I mean, it's just been so much rain, he couldn't get over here. My helper weed whacked all those weeds in the garden, in the raised bed garden. So, if you're new here, I have a raised bed garden. It's on a hill. It's connected to orchard number 1, and that's connected to the 3 tomato terraces. There's 3 terraces. I grow tomatoes on a string on 2 of them. I've got potatoes growing on the other one. Beside that, I have my flower garden, which I completely redid this year. I put a lot of manure, horse manure, and then I covered it in hay. Well, that hay sprouted seed, grass seed, and I just hand sowed flower seed in the flower garden But I have no idea how I'm going to fix that, because so much rain, so much of the good soil is washed off. That has to completely be reworked. So in the raised bed garden, I've still got asparagus growing. I've got fabulous raised bed full of potatoes. Over in the side garden, just 1,200 square feet, I didn't even take pictures over there because I did finally plant the 10 roselle. 2 or 3 of those have just shriveled up and died. It's just the soil is just mud. I guess the roots can't breathe. And so that needs help. And then my helper came over and we managed to get 20 more tomatoes, so 3 total rows. Somehow that first row that I put in on the tomato terrace survived that tornado, that deluge, and it looks pretty good. In fact, those look like my best tomatoes. The tomatoes planted in the lower garden. So we've got, starting tomorrow, we've got 3 straight sunny days, and I need to go see my mother, so I don't know. It's pretty overwhelming, and I've just taken on more than I can handle again. But this time I really have. All my herbs haven't been planted. It's crazy. I've just been keeping them alive in their cups and watering them, and oh goodness, I was going to plant them over here. But I did plant some beans over here. I'd say 25, maybe 20% of the bean seeds managed to come up with all that rain. So that needs to be resown. But hey, it's only the middle of June, right? So I've got time. And, excuse me, it's only the middle of May, so I've got time. I have fabulous sweet potatoes. I want to tell you my particular method. It's just, I mean, it's similar to what other people do, but I'm going to show you in a separate video. I am kind of proud of it because that's 3 years in a row. It's worked really well for me, so. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of bring you up to date because it's been crazy, too much rain. Hardened off, I probably have 100 plants on the front porch that need to be planted, and I have at least 100 herbs and flowers and that need to be planted. So hopefully I can get my helper over here on Monday and we can just knock a bunch of that out. Do all the pots on Monday. The sun will give it a chance to dry out, and then maybe Tuesday we can put some replacement tomatoes in, because I noticed I probably lost 10 or 15% of the let's see, I had 35 plus, let's just say 50 tomatoes down in the lower garden, and then I have 30 over here and 1 on the driveway. My best tomato, you develop your seedlings, you know, some are real compact and they got the strong stems like you always see at, you know, the box stores. You know, all their tomatoes are real stocky stems. Well, the light, I guess, I don't know how I don't know how they do it at the nurseries because they have so many. But if you keep the grow light close to your seedlings, the stem will be more compact. The farther they have to, if you don't have a grow light, you know, they have to reach up to get to the light in the window, and they're long and leggy. So all the first round that got planted were my best tomatoes, some of which I've lost. And then the second round were all the leggy tomatoes, and so some of which I've lost. And so I do have a few replacements which are small and puny, and we'll see. So at least I've got something to stick back in that hole. Big news! If anyone is going to the Modern Homesteading Conference in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, I'm going. I just made my reservations finally yesterday. I should have done it weeks ago. But my friend Teresa, who, if you follow my channel, she started a Facebook page for Late Bloomer. She came and helped me for a week learning how to pressure can. Last year we did a number of videos. So she lives near Boise, and so does my son, who I haven't seen in a long time, one of my sons. And so I'm going to make a combined trip, visit them. They're expecting a baby in August, and so I'm going to visit them, and we're going to go up. Teresa and I are going to drive up to the conference. And so if anyone is going, please let me know, because I would love to meet you. I would love to meet anyone who's watching my channel. 6/28, 6/29, Friday and Saturday of June, the last 2 days of June. And then we're driving back. And I'm going to spend a couple of more days in Boise. So I know there's Lou from Idaho that watches my channel. So Lou, connect with me. I really want to meet you when I'm there. So thanks so much for watching my channel. If you have any questions, leave them below. And I hope things are going, the weather is going better for you where you are. We'll just keep on going, right? And just do the best we can with what we're given. And feel very blessed that we're here to experience all of this amazing nature. I feel so blessed to be here, even with all the challenges. So God bless you, and I'll see you in the next video. Wow, it just woke up.